Hello students of class 11, welcome back once again to your biology class. So today we will start our third chapter, that is Kingdom Plantae. So Kingdom Plantae, it has very broad classification. It has a huge classification because so many different plants are found all over the universe, and that has to be classified in a proper systematic way. So for that reason, different systems of classification has been put forward. First is the artificial system of classification. In this system of artificial classification, which is based on one or few superficial similarities, the criteria used for classification included habitat and few more characteristics, and it did not consider the natural or the phylogenetic relationship into different categories like aquatic, terrestrial and aerial. So it had few drawbacks or demerits. Since it utilized only one or few morphological or ecological characters, it did not reflect any natural or phylogenetic relationship among organisms. As a result, what happens? The unrelated organisms, they became grouped together, and certain closely related species became separated. And the characters which were chosen during this artificial system of classification underwent progressive or parallel evolution, and as a result, the organism did not exhibit any phylogenetic relationship. Neither it considered homology. So organisms did not show basically any clear-cut evolutionary line. So as a result, this artificial system of classification was rejected. Next, another system of classification was put forward, which is known as the natural system of classification. In this system, it took into account the number of comparable characters or the number of comparable characteristics between the organisms to bring about the natural similarities and dissimilarities, and thereby it found out the relation among the organisms. This system considered only those characters that were stable. It not only studied the morphological features but also anatomy, cytology, physiology and the reproductive characteristics of the organisms. So this natural system of classification made use of artificial keys of identification. It reflected the natural as well as the phylogenetic relationship, and apart from that, the closely related organisms were placed in the same taxon in the natural system of classification. There were a few advantages of this system. What were that? It avoided the heterogeneous grouping of the organisms and placed only those which were related in a taxon. It indicated the natural relationship among organisms, and given phylogeny was maintained, and the natural system of classification, it remained dominant before the idea of evolution was accepted. After that, another phylogenetic system of classification came forward. This system of classification was based on the evolutionary sequence as well as the genetic relationship among the organisms. Understood? Now, after that, a comparison of natural and phylogenetic organisms were classified. Now, this natural system took into account the homology, whereas the phylogenetic system, it considered the evolutionary relationship among the organisms, and in the case of phylogenetic system, the fossil record, it played a very vital role and it remained incomplete. And in the natural system, it avoided heterogeneous growing and the fossil record, it did not play any role. So in this way, the natural system and the phylogenetic system, a huge difference was created between these two classifications. In regards to the classification of plant kingdom, different classification systems have been put forward. Now, kingdom Plantae has been divided into two broad categories. First is the Thallophyta, another is the Embryophyta. Embryophyta again has been classified into Bryophyta, Tracheophyta. Tracheophyta again has been subclassified into Pteridophyta and Spermatophyta. Again, Spermatophyta has been divided into Gymnosperm and Angiosperm. Okay, but now the classification of the plant kingdom is based on Eckler's classification of plant kingdom. Here what happens? The kingdom Plantae has been divided into two subkingdoms. First is the Cryptogam, another is the Phanerogam. Cryptogam means the non-flowering plants and Phanerogam means the flowering plants. Now these Cryptogam has been divided. The divisions are Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. And Phanerogam's divisions are the Gymnosperm and the Angiosperms. Okay. Now this division we will know in details about each division, the characteristic features and the subclasses, subclasses you don't need this time, till the classes we have to learn. Now division Thallophyta means those algae. The plants with thalloid plant body are included in these Thallophyta. What are the general characteristics? The plant body is thallus. Thallus means undifferentiated. Phyton means plant. Thallus and phyton, undifferentiated plant. So that is, the plant body is not differentiated into true root, stem and leaves. Few algae can be multicellular, few algae can be cellular, multicellular and unicellular algae. Unicellular algae example, Chlorella, you can give one example. Multicellular, so many are there, you can give any name. Algae are aquatic, fresh water, they can also live in brackish water. Thallus is covered by mucilage. There are no vascular tissues for the conduction of water and minerals. It occurs from one part of the body directly to the other part. Cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectin, and the sex organs are unicellular and they do not have any protective covering. And the male gametangium is known as antheridium and the female gametangium is known as oogonium. In case of reproduction, vegetative, asexual and sexual mode of reproduction is done. Vegetative by means of cell division, fragmentation, budding, formation of gyma, formation of tubers, and asexual reproduction by means of zoospore, planospore, akinets, hypnospore, autospores. Asexual reproduction done. Then sexual reproduction by means of gametes and their fusion. Fusion of gametes is known as syngamy. Okay, and depending on the morphology and physiology of the fusing gametes, it can be isogamous and isogamous, oogamous. Isogamous means in which the fusing gametes are morphologically and physiologically similar. Iso means same. And isogametes are those in which the fusing gametes are morphologically and physiologically dissimilar. Oogamous means it is the most advanced form in which the fusing gametes are completely different from each other and they show specific features. So it is very easy to distinguish the male and the female gametes as oogamous. And most of the algae they show haplontic life cycle, where the alga is haploid and the vegetative phase of the zygote is the only diploid phase. There is zygotic meiosis. Some alga they show diplontic life cycle also, where the meiosis takes place in the gametes, and in some cases haplodiplontic life cycle is also found. Now classification of fungi, it can be classified into three classes: Rhodophyceae, Phaeophyceae, Chlorophyceae. Rhodo means red, phyton means plant. So mostly red algae are marine. They are Rhodophyceae. So red color, they are found also in the fresh water. Some deep water marine forms are also found. The cells are multinucleate and there are many species of these organisms can be found. And the thallus organization varies. It can be unicellular like Porphyridium. It can be palmelloid as in case of Asterocystis. It can be multiaxial. Thallus will show either apical growth or it can also be diffuse growth. How is the cell structure? Cell wall is made up of pectin, cellulose and certain mucopolysaccharides which is known as phycocolloids. How is the reproduction? Here also vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, sexual modes of reproduction are followed. Vegetative by means of fragmentation, asexual by means of spores, sexual formation, sexual reproduction by male sex organs, spermatangy and female sex organs, Carpogonia. Life cycle haplontic, example Porphyria. Diphasic haplontic, or it can be diplontic also. Now what is the economic importance? Many red algae are used as food, example Porphyria. You have to give example in each case. Agar is obtained from Gracilaria, and it can be carrageenan that is obtained from chondrus, that is used as a clearing agent in liquor. It is also used as emulsifier in chocolate. Okay, agar is also used as a medium for microbial culture. So it can be of different uses, 3 to 4 uses, you just remember. Next is Phaeophyceae or the brown algae. Phaeos means brown. So brown algae are mostly marine, exception is always there, like Bodanella, that is one algae which is not marine. So the largest brown algae are called seaweeds or sea kelps, and many brown algae are found in the cooler oceans. How is the thallus? There is no unicellular colonial or unbranched filamentous fibers, and the branched filamentous fibers are heterotrichous. You can give an example of Ectocarpus. Monosiphonous, you can give an example of so many are there. You can give one Hecatonema. So many are there. You can give any example. Cell structure, cell wall is differentiated into mucilaginous pectic layer, inner cellulosic layer, and different other colloidal substances like algin and fucoidin are also found on the surface of the cells. Reproduction, vegetative, asexual and sexual mode of reproduction are followed. Vegetative reproduction occurs by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction occurs by zoospore formation. Sexual reproduction, it can be isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous like the previous one. Okay, next, what is the economic importance? Many brown algae are used as food for humans like Laminaria. They are rich source of iodine also. Algin is a calcium salt of polyuronic acid. It's also used in the preparation of ointment, in the manufacture of fireproof plastic, for sizing the textiles. So many are there. 3 to 4 you just remember. Next, Chlorophyceae or the green algae. Chloro means green. So green algae, they show diverse habitat and they occur in various habitat. You can give an example which is attached to the substratum. A Chlorophyceae which is attached to the substratum or the base, Eulothrix. You can give an example of free floating Chlorophyceae, Spirogyra. Chlamydomonas is an active swimmer. Okay, so there are so many marine Chlorophyceae. There some grow in the moist soils also as sheets. Few are epiphytes which grow on the other plants or the tree trunks. Now their thallus organization ranges. It can be unicellular or it can be complex heterotrichous. It can be flagellate. It can be filamentous. So many forms are there. Reproduction type, vegetative, asexual and sexual like the previous one. All these modes of reproduction are found. This is some points you will see which is very common to all. So that points you can include in any of these forms. Now vegetative reproduction occurs by means of fragmentation. Asexual reproduction by the formation of zoospore, aplanospores, hypnospores, autospores, spore formation basically. Sexual reproduction exhibits like the previous one, isogamy, anisogamy and oogamy. Life cycle is haplontic. in majority of the cases, and zygote is the only diploid phase in the life cycle of this organism. Understood? Now, what is the economic importance? Previous one you have seen some algae green are used as food. Here also you can give that point. There are many green algae which is used as food, but you have to give an example like chlorella. Chlorella is very rich in protein and it contains all the essential amino acids. It is used as food by the scientists who are involved in the space research. Okay, chlorella is also used to yield antibiotics. Chlorella is also used to produce different types of antibiotics. In the sewage disposal of the ponds, these are used. Some parasitic algae, they cause disease, rust disease and damage to the tea, coffee, etc. Understood? So you have to know the characteristic features and the economic importance of each. Understood? Till this much today. We will continue the remaining portion of this in our next class. Thank you.